Hi, I am Crystal Kane. I am a student in the Masters of Animal Science program at North Carolina State University, and I will be discussing nutrition for dogs and cats. Why is nutrition so important? The key to good health and a healthy body is directly related to what is put into that body. Good nutrition is the basis of a healthy pet. Dogs and cats should be fed according to their specific nutritional needs. Cats are not small dogs and have very different nutritional requirements than dogs, whereas dogs have nutritional requirements which are more similar to people than cats. Good nutrition enhances a pet's quality and quantity of life. Some benefits of feeding your pet a properly balanced diet include reduction in the risk of diseases related to obesity, such as diabetes, reduction in inflammation of joints, healthy digestive systems, healthy teeth, decreased infections of the ears and the mouth, healthy skin and coats, and less shedding. The proper balance of nutrients is essential when feeding your pets. There are 6 nutrient groups: proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. Protein is an essential nutrient and is important in numerous functions within the body, such as muscle growth, tissue repair, enzymes, transporting oxygen within the blood, immune functions, and as a source of energy. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Dietary protein is digested within the stomach and small intestine, then broken down into peptides and free amino acids, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. The amino acids are then distributed to various cells of the body where they are used to build proteins. Protein is derived from both animal and plant sources. Most protein ingredients don't have all the amino acids in the right proportion, but combinations of different protein sources can lead to the right balance. Amino acids are classified as either essential or non essential. Essential amino acids cannot be produced by the body or are produced in insufficient quantities. These amino acids must be supplied through the diet. Non essential amino acids are produced in sufficient amounts within the body naturally and generally don't need to be supplemented through the diet. Essential amino acids required by both dogs and cats are arginine, histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. Cats also have a requirement for taurine. In manufactured pet foods, most dietary carbohydrates are grains, such as wheat, corn, and rice. The primary site of carbohydrate digestion is in the small intestine, where these complex compounds are broken down into glucose, which is a simple sugar. Glucose is the normal source of energy used by most cells within the body. Common sources of digestible carbohydrates found in dog and cat foods include corn, oats, rice, barley, wheat, and sorghum. The bran or hulls from grains and other vegetable products are also sources of dietary fiber. These include soybean hulls, wheat bran, beet pulp, rice bran, and oat bran. Fat is a concentrated form of energy. Compared to protein and carbohydrate, fat contains approximately 2.25 times the amount of energy per gram. Polyunsaturated essential fatty acids are important for normal skin and hair coat, normal immune function, and many other aspects to the pet's health. Compared to other groups of nutrients, vitamins are required in the smallest amounts. Vitamins are classified as either fat soluble or water soluble. Fat soluble vitamins depend on the presence of dietary fat and normal fat within the body. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are all classified as fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin A has a number of functions, including a role in normal vision, growth, immune system function, and reproduction. The primary functions of vitamin D are to help with the mineralization of bone and to increase the absorption of calcium and phosphorus from the intestines. Vitamin E works in conjunction with other nutrients and compounds as an antioxidant to minimize damage to cells from oxidation. Vitamin K primarily serves as a clotting agent within the blood. Unlike the fat-soluble vitamins, water-soluble vitamins are not stored to any extent within the body and must be consumed daily. Water-soluble vitamins include the B-complex vitamins and vitamin C. The B-complex vitamins are critical in the metabolism of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Vitamin C's primary role in the body involves the synthesis and production of collagen. Minerals perform many different functions in the body, including bone and cartilage formation, enzymatic reactions, maintaining fluid balance, transportation of oxygen within the blood, normal muscle and nerve function, and the production of hormones. Supplementation of any one mineral to an otherwise balanced diet can create imbalances, possibly disrupting the animal's nutritional health. Minerals are usually grouped into macro and micro categories. Macrominerals are needed in greater amounts in the diet and are found in larger amounts in the body than microminerals. The macrominerals include calcium, phosphorus, sodium, chlorine, potassium, and magnesium. Microminerals include zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, and iodine. The last nutrient is water. Water is essential in helping regulate body temperature, lubrication of body tissues, and as a fluid medium for blood and lymph systems. Water intake is controlled by thirst, hunger, metabolic activity such as work, gestation, lactation, or growth, and the environment. Our pets get most of their water by simply drinking it, but they also get some from fluid ingested with food and water generated from metabolic processes in the body. Now we will discuss how to choose a diet for your pet. Owners are faced with many different options when deciding what to feed their dog or cat. Owners could choose to buy their pet food from a grocery store or pet store in either a wet or dry pet food form, or the owners could also decide to prepare their pet's food within their home or feed a raw diet. There are many positives associated with feeding commercial dry pet foods. This is the most convenient type of food both for storage and for feeding. The food can be left out for the pet to eat at its own pace without fear of spoilage. A large plastic bin with a tight lid is usually enough to keep the food fresh and safe from insects and from rodents. Dry foods are also more economically cost effective when feeding multiple pets since it can be bought in bulk and stored after the bag has been opened. Dried kibble can also be used as an effective training treat and as a dental health supplement. Some dry foods are specially formulated and shaped to clean the pet's teeth as the animal chews it. There are also some negatives associated with feeding dry pet foods. Dry foods do not provide as much moisture as wet foods. This is important as an animal ages or if it was to become ill. Some breeds also have a hard time breaking up the kibble due to dental problems or their facial structure, which makes it difficult for them to eat the dry food. To make the kibble keep its shape, many dry foods have a reduced amount of fat content and an increased carbohydrate content. If your dog is active, they may require higher fat than a dry food could provide. The positives of feeding your pet commercial wet foods are wet foods can be a good source of hydration. This is beneficial if your animal is reluctant to drink adequate amounts of water. Wet foods are also a good option for dogs missing teeth, with poorly aligned jaws, or who have smaller mouths. Older animals have a loss of their olfactory senses and may be more inclined to eat foods with a richer scent and flavor, such as wet foods. This is also a good alternative for pets that are ill and cannot smell as well. Conversely, wet food, once it has been opened, has lost any shelf life it had. It would need to be covered and refrigerated or used quickly before it has the chance to spoil. Depending on the quality of the food, wet food may be more expensive than dry food and must be bought in smaller amounts at a time. Breeds with a Predisposition to developing dental problems will also need more attentive dental care since they are eating softer food which will not help clean their teeth. One type of diet that is gaining popularity is a raw diet. Various types of processed raw food diet products have been developed. These include commercial, highly processed raw food diet products that are either freeze dried or frozen. Many of these blend combinations of vegetables, grains, vitamins, and are mixed with various types of raw meat. A typical raw food diet typically includes dairy, fruit, vegetables, raw eggs, organ meats, bones, and muscle meat. Benefits of a raw diet include healthy skin and coat, smaller stools, cleaner teeth, and higher energy levels. Raw diets can be very expensive when compared to dry processed foods. Not every animal is suitable for a raw diet, especially immune compromised animals and those with allergies. Dietary and nutritional imbalances can occur with raw food diets. There is potential for whole bones to choke an animal, break teeth, or cause internal punctures. Study of raw food diets have also shown evidence of widespread bacterial contamination. While most healthy animals may be able to handle this bacteria load, bacteria can be shed in feces, creating a risk of human exposure and infection. One of the latest trends in pet nutrition is preparing food at home for your pet using everyday ingredients found in your kitchen. Homemade pet foods are cheap. You can make their meals with a bunch of scrap meat and veggies that you can buy at the grocery store. The best part about cooking your own food for your pet is that you can control what goes into their food. This is especially helpful if your pet has any allergies. One of the downsides about homemade pet foods is that it's time consuming. Essentially, you are preparing a full meal for your pet just as you would yourself and your family. Another potential issue with homemade diets occurs if you don't give your pet the right types of food. Then you might miss out on important vitamins and minerals they may need. Now that you have decided what type of food you want to feed your pet, you need to pick a brand. Reading the pet food labels are the best way to decide what brand is right for you and your pet. Reading cat and dog food labels can be very confusing and tricky, but it is essential in ensuring you are feeding your pet a healthy, nutritious food. The food label is comprised of several different components: the guaranteed analysis, the ingredient list, feeding instructions, AAFCO statement, and the manufacturer's information. The guaranteed analysis indicates the minimum or maximum levels of nutrients, such as protein, fat, fiber, and moisture content, which could be found in the food. It does not, however, indicate or provide the exact levels of nutrients in the food. Therefore, it is not a guarantee of the overall nutritional quality of the pet food. All pet foods must list the ingredients present in the food. The ingredients are listed in the order of the weight present in the food. Reading the ingredient list is one of the best ways to determine the quality of the pet food. Make sure you read the complete list of ingredients because some of the ingredients can be broken down into several components and listed separately. For example, a product list could contain chicken, ground corn, corn gluten, ground wheat, corn bran, wheat flour, and wheat middlings. As you see, corn and wheat were listed multiple times on that list. AAFCO stands for the Association of American Feed Control Officials. AAFCO is an organization that sets the nutritional standards for the pet foods sold in the United States. This legally required statement verifies the testing method used to determine the nutritional adequacy. The statement indicates whether the food provides complete and balanced nutrition for a specific life stage of animal or if the product is nutritionally adequate for all life stages. Feeding instructions or guidelines are also included on every bag and can of pet food. These guidelines give the recommended amount to be fed based on the growth level and weight. These guidelines should be used as rough starting points, seeing as every animal is different and has different activity levels and metabolism. Use these guidelines as a starting point and adjust for your pet as needed. The package label should also include the manufacturer's name, phone number, and address. If you should have any questions, you are encouraged to call the companies to learn more about their products, including the place of manufacturing, the actual nutrient content, calories, and the palatability of your prospective food of choice. As you have seen, there are many factors to consider when choosing a diet for your pet. Consider your pet's life stage. As animals grow, their nutritional requirements change. Therefore, their food needs to correctly match their nutritional needs. Decide what type of food you want to feed your pet. Do you want to buy food or are you willing to prepare it yourself? If you buy food, what type of food do you want to buy? When comparing foods, look at the ingredients list. Look for fish, meat, eggs, or some type of meat or fish meal as the first or second ingredient. Meat, fish, and eggs have a high percentage of protein in a digestible form. Check for the AAFCO statement. For foods to be labeled as complete and balanced, they must meet standards established by the AAFCO. Determining caloric requirements for your pet. Pets' energy needs to maintain a healthy weight for their life stages depends upon several factors. Energy to perform essential body functions like digestion, respiration, heart functions, and brain functions is called the resting energy requirements, or RER. These can be calculated by multiplying the animal's body weight in kilograms raised to the 3/4 power by 70. You can also use the charts to estimate resting caloric needs, but these charts only give a rough estimate. Here are some additional things to consider with regards to your pet's nutrition. Make sure that the food you choose is appropriate for your pet's stage of life. Beware if a package states the food supports all stages of life. The product likely contains excessive levels of some nutrients necessary for the most demanding stage of life, which is growth. There are special diets for pets with special needs such as obesity, kidney disease, allergies, oral health, and more. When feeding treats, make sure they are given in moderation and not as a primary source of the pet's diet. Also, be sure to avoid feeding pets table scraps. This has been an overview of different areas to consider when choosing a diet for your pet. Remember, there is no best diet. Every pet is unique, and the goal is to find what is the best diet for your individual pet. Do your research. Consult your veterinarian to help ensure your pet's diet meets their individual needs.